Hi everyone, it's the Comic Fan Man here coming at you with another video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at Hank the Ranger from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And before we get started on this review, first I did want to mention, I forgot to talk about this. This is Diorama cover that came with Venger and Dungeon Master, and this is basically a recreation of the beginning of the show where the kids get sucked into the Dungeons and Dragons ride, and this was also the end credits of the cartoon. Basically, it was just a panning out with all the credits of this very scene. Yeah, I think that came out really very nice. I don't know who the artist was who recreated this, but it's really a very well done job. Now, let's take a look at Hank the Ranger. He comes with all of these accessories, the energy bow here. He comes with an unactivated energy bow here, so he can just hold this as a regular thing. And he also comes with an 8-sided Dungeons and Dragons dice. Another dice to add to the collection. This is really cool. I had no idea these figures came with this. So this was a really neat surprise to have this. Now, I did hear a lot about the fact how these figures' articulation is very limited. I tend to not agree with that. I think the articulation is fine. It can be better. I definitely can see where, like, you know, unfortunately he doesn't hold the arrow, bow and arrow, like, you know, like properly. However, I don't think he was meant to really hold the bow and arrow. I think what they wanted to make it look like was like he was shooting off the bow already, like he was letting it go here, which is why this is not actually holding on to that back part, because he's not pulling it back, he's releasing it. At least that's what it looks like to me, because all the rest of this part of it, the way he's pointing it out, like, that's all fine. That looks like a true archer's hold there. But this, his hand being off the end there, I don't think that he's tugging at it. I think he's releasing it already. At least that's what I feel. Yes, it would have been really cool if they would have maybe cut a little bit more into this joint so that he could hold that. I think that would have been a really neat look, to show like he's pulling it back. But they didn't do that, and really, it doesn't really bother me, because the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, maybe they just left it that way, because maybe he's supposed to be releasing the bow. He's not pulling it back anymore. He's actually letting it go. So that's kind of how I just justified it in my mind. But in any case, let's take a look at him without the energy bow. It goes on nice and easy, comes off nice and easy. You can move his arms around. His head is articulated well. His legs are articulated well. And take a look. I think he's a really good one-for-one for what he looked like in the cartoon. His studded leather armor, the Robin Hood green. Yeah, I think he looks really good. And they did some slits here so that the arm can go out. So that's nice, because I originally didn't see these slits, so I thought that his arm wasn't going to be able to go out as far, but it does. It goes out pretty far. And then you can just switch the bow out for this one if you just want him holding the bow, like he does in the cartoon, just regularly. You can do that. And now he's just holding the bow without the energy shot. And you have the energy shot here. I know that people were complaining because the whole thing is a clear energy bow. And yeah, it might have been nice if they had just made this portion an attachment for this, but it's okay. I don't understand all of the complaints that was had about this. I mean, sure, it could have been done better, but everything can be done better, really. You know, it's not like all the other companies do everything exactly perfect. And the fact that they sculpted and painted his face exactly like the cartoon, the hair, like this looks really great. I mean, really, like this style is kind of on par with what Super 7 does with their cartoon figures, where they make it look exactly like the cartoon. So I'm gonna give Hasbro props on this. I know people gave this series a lot of hate over some of the shortcomings, and yes, I can definitely see where, you know, Hasbro cut some corners, and it would have been nice to have some extra articulation in some places, but it's not that bad. And also, I've heard a lot about breakage, and yes, you shouldn't have to do this, but in order for me to get the figures to like move around without worrying about breaking them, I give them a quick rinse in hot water, not boiling water, but just regular hot running water, just to loosen up the joints a little bit, and it's fine. I don't have any issue with it whatsoever. And I haven't had any piece break off just yet, so hopefully I won't. Remember in the Venger, I was a little bit scared about that peg of the wrist, but it was really not a big deal. Once I heated up the wrists a little bit, it's able to move just fine, and I'm not scared of it breaking anymore. So it's okay. It's much better quality than I think people have given it credit for. All right, so here we have him next to another Ranger, and this Ranger is Vex'ahlia from the Legend of Vox Machina, which is also based on a Dungeons and Dragons game by Critical Role. And yeah, she has the bow as well, just like Hank does, but Hank, obviously his bow is magical, where hers is using regular arrows. But yeah, same type of style of character for Dungeons and Dragons. Two different Rangers. This one obviously being a level 1 style Ranger because he literally just got there and Dungeon Master made him a Ranger. But with a powerful weapon. Not bad. And here he is next to another Dungeons and Dragons hero. The Dungeons and Dragons Strongheart from NECA Toys. And yeah, he was in the cartoon for one episode, and in that one episode his magic weapon was a golden hammer. So that was kind of neat. And as you can see, NECA Toys is at 7-inch, he's at 6, so they're definitely on different levels. But again, these are children, so it's okay that they're smaller. I think that works out just fine, because this would be a full-grown adult male paladin with a child ranger. And here's what he would be like going up against one of Venger's ogres. And I am using Whiplash from Masterverse as Ogre because I love this new Eternia Whiplash armor. Really makes him look like an ogre. And having Hank have to deal with that kind of enemy is definitely very Dungeons and Dragons, because there were plenty of these kind of guys on in the cartoon, giving them all sorts of problems. So yeah, and the fact that he's so much larger, yeah, definitely keeps it on the scale of the cartoon. So I really love this combination. All right, so if you enjoyed this look at the 40th anniversary Dungeons and Dragons cartoon figure of Hank the Ranger, please give me a like and subscribe if you think that I've earned it. And let's continue this series, and we'll take a look at the next figure. All right, thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye now.